Hi there, everybody. 3 minutes.
Three
I'm,
minutes.
uh, I'm an English teacher. I teach English as a second language here in Brazil. Students age from 5 to 14, both face-to-face and online classes. So I'm going to talk about warm-ups and wrap-ups activities for online classes. So what are they? Do you know the typical class structure, PPP, presentation, practice, production? So they are not part of this class plan structure. The warm-up comes before the presentation, and the wrap-up comes after the production. And why? Why would you like to do? And they don't take long. They can take ideally from 1 minute to 5 minutes. They can take a little bit longer. But why would a teacher would like to do a warm-up activity or a wrap-up activity? So they set the tone. They give a sense of closure. They start and they end the class in a happy way. So the original problem I was trying to solve is a fun way to start and end your class. And many times you're teaching a boring subject, and a great warm up makes everybody in the mood, you know. And sometimes your class is kind of mediocre, you know. And at the end of the class, you do a great wrap up, and everybody gets out of the class thinking that was a great class because you did a great wrap up. So let me explain some of the simple games that I use. So one of these games is called Last Stick Loses. So I draw these 3 rows of sticks. So it's this first image right there on the left. The first row has 3 sticks. The second has 4. The third has 6. And then players take turns crossing out sticks. So on each turn, a player can cross out any number of sticks as long as they are in the same row. And the player that has to cross the last stick loses. It seems simple, but it's so much fun. And it's like a 1 minute game that you can do it with a whiteboard and will put a smile in every child's face. Another one is this giant tic-tac-toe. I think it's self-explanatory. You can play it in many ways. It takes a little bit more time. Another one that is great, it's called City Sleep or City Sleeps. This game, we've been playing this game like before the age of smartphones. I don't know how many of you were teachers before the age of smartphones, you know, and I'm considering that maybe 2012, 2013. That's why when I started teaching. And we played this game called City Sleep. It's a little bit more complex, but then some developer, I think this developer, they saw this game and they created the famous Among Us game, which is basically trying to find the imposter and casting a vote and the debate that follows when the group is trying to find who is the imposter. This is a classroom game that we've been doing for like 1,000 years. And then when I saw this game, I said, this is it. This is the perfect example of what we need to do to successfully transfer our hands-on activities, classroom fun games to the online world. So just to wrap up here, some useful websites that I use on the left. And the big question is that one on the right, how to translate all these fun activities, hands-on stuff that we do in classroom, in a face-to-face classroom to the online world. All right, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. We have time, I think, for one question. Dr. B.
So my question is, how do these games align with the learning outcomes for your course? It sounds like you teach English. What is the alignment between these particular games and the skills that students are learning in the course? Do you choose them for purposes to support the learning, or do they serve other purposes?
They support the learning, but the definition of a warm-up or a wrap-up is that they don't necessarily have to do with the class content of the day. They are just a game to put the students in the mood for learning.